Hey traders, Raghi here, and I am super excited to bring you the third video in this series, diving into my workspace bundle and live trading that is happening on September 10 and 13, where we're going to jump into how I use the tools that you see on my chart. And I get so many questions about, Rag, what tools are on your chart? How do I get them? How do I make my charts look like yours? And one thing that I wanted to remind everybody is we have these indicators for both Thinkorswim and for TradingView. I've been using TradingView a lot more. And what we're going to dive into now, we talked about the overall 3 groups of indicator types on my charts in video 1. We talked about the importance of volume prioritized analysis in video number 2 with the VWAP max, V-score, V-score bands, and V-profile indicator. Now we're going to jump into the Darvas box and propulsion. Now this is how I like to automate support and resistance. Support and resistance are probably some of the most subjective tools or subjective methodologies in trading. Which touch points do we connect? How far back do we go? All this stuff. So what I wanted to do is there a way to automate good old-fashioned support and resistance, and can I do that with a time-tested methodology? Well, enter Darvas. This is not a strict Darvas interpretation, but rather very much influenced by. We call this Darvas 3.0. It's our signals version of the Darvas, which means there are signals letting you know when we have important turning points in the market and when those turning points might become resistance or when they might become support. Well, let's take a look at a chart here. You'll notice on this chart that we have a number of tools running, but I want to dive into the Darvas study and show you a little bit about what it's doing. What Darvas is doing is looking back at a specific formation, minor lows and minor highs, and they will plot the support and resistance. But we also now have not just a box, but the Darvas arrows to show us where these turning points might be. So what does it look like on the chart? It looks like this. Now, we might have a number of arrows that will plot showing where a Darvas could be, but it doesn't always guarantee a Darvas. But it is important, like this right here. There's no Darvas, but I know there was a turning point in the market. Here, we had an arrow with the Darvas. So it gives you a little bit of an insight into where these turning points and ultimately where these automated support and resistance levels may be. Then we have the wave and the grab. And I'm going to show you the wave and the grab on a daily time frame. This is my oldest indicator. I created these early on in my trading career, and these are the color-coded candles that you all see on my charts: green, red, and blue. And green is bullish, red is bearish, blue is neutral. And these indicate bullishness and bearishness using the candles and the 34 EMA exponential moving average. And so that's where the color coding comes from, and this gives you instant, at-a-glance understanding of the behavior of the market. Well, there's another thing that we do, and that's the JT multi down here at the bottom of the screen. This is probably one of the most important indicators for any trader. When do you know to look for trending opportunities? When do you know when to look for choppy market opportunities? And when do those transitions happen? Never before had we had a cleaner, more objective way to recognize these market behaviors and see the transition both in the sentiment, which is the upper row of color, and the trend. And this automates that understanding. So not only do we have automated support and resistance, we also have an understanding of the underlying trend. Now, when you put together the propulsion, the multi-trend, and the grab and wave, and the Darvas, you've automated support and resistance. You've put a smart exponential moving average on your chart via the dots of the propulsion, trend, trend. Well, let's talk about the smart exponential moving averages, because one of the things that exponential moving averages tend to do is confuse traders in these choppy yellow periods. And what you'll notice happens here is our propulsion turns on and off, letting us know the market is not quite gaining the kind of traction that would really validate use of different moving averages. On this chart, I've got an 8 exponential moving average. I have a 13. I have a 21, and I have a 55. And these are all denoted by the dots and their specific colors. You can look at any combination you would like. But what it does is it lets you know when that moving average is going to be most helpful, when it is going to act as dynamic support and resistance. You put all these tools together, you're automating so much of what you've probably had to do manually. And now again, you're able to automate the volume part of your analysis, trend recognition, and automated support and resistance. And again, lifetime updates on any improvements that I make on these specific tools. You get a bonus indicator set up so you can get these tools on your platform as easily as possible, and then the 2 live sessions with me where you get to see me put them to work in a live market. I am super stoked about this. I cannot wait to see you in the Workspace Bundle live trading. First time we've ever done this. Looking forward to showing you all the improvements and the way these tools have evolved, and you're getting the very freshest versions of these tools with this bundle. Looking forward to seeing you there.